And sometimes the sharing, too much sharing waves can be the culprit for some massive failures. So currently this is quite good deformation, although in this mode here you see this is not good. What's happening here is probably that this bone is getting too much influence, so let's try to smooth that out. Or maybe it's this one, no, maybe this one, no, it's here. We just have to smooth out this corner. You see that much better result now, and we can make slightly cool deformations with that. Of course there is this bulging at the top, but this is one of the hardest things to fix, in my opinion, for this method. And but we'll be addressing that. This still can be improved in many ways. So now for this case, what we can do is reduce the influence of that bone in this particular region. Now we can use, now it's a good moment to use the smear tool, because it will allow for faster results. So let's see now. Yes, we could have more strain for that bone anyways, but overall this is kinda, yeah, smoothing. Sense more smoothing, or maybe more strain, right? Let's see. Now let's smooth. Let's reset the pose, just a moment. Yeah, so okay, so then sometimes we think we found the way to go, but then it creates some issues elsewhere, so this can be quite tricky. So currently I know more or less how to solve the smoothness of the outer part fairly well. But then I often failing at the compression as the mesh goes towards. Of course here we're not seeing all the models, so let me show you right after how it should be looking. In order to better visualize the eyelids posing, right, the eyelids rig, we should be doing some steps here that I forgot, and one of them is, sometimes it's better to see that even on the viewport shading for material preview, although it's lagging a little. Let's keep on solid viewport shading. What I forgot was that if I check the whole mesh, let's go back here, let's hide the rest, only the eyes region mesh, then this edge loop, actually that one that I have extruded previously, it does not contain waves currently, so it's lagging behind. Let me redo this. So I need to reselect these edge loops, and then let's extrude this G, and for some reason I cannot use Y here, so I need to grab this and then Y on global transformation, so it goes backward. Let's do a bit more. Then I want this to be smoothed out a little, maybe rescale just a little more, not too much. Okay, actually let me turn on screencast. Alright, so this new mesh that I've made here has cloned the waves from these eyelids vertices. This is important for some sort of automation, but now that vertex group for the eyelids border has nothing assigned to it, so let's assign this mesh to it. So now this, which was affected by a shrink wrap modifier, that one, we don't even have to update here because we didn't change the vertex group name. So here it is, but I also forgot to change its color, material. Actually, I need to reassign a material for it, so let's do something here. I want to reuse any of those, then I'll add a new material from that, and I'll call this eyelids borders. And then let me get some expressive color here to make a fine differentiation. That would do. And paste it to the viewport preview. So let's see how it... Oh, I forgot to assign, of course. And here it is. So that's perfect. This is just not exactly for the character design, this is for differentiation. And so you see, as the mesh for this eyelids border edge loop is following the current limit of the eyelids mesh, so this is very interesting. And I'm avoiding also the interpenetrations between the eyelids mesh and the eye surface mesh objects, thanks mostly, although it can fail sometimes, let's see if I... here. But I can, of course, disposing is ridiculous, it shouldn't be attempted, but it's not good to have this. So we can solve some of these by just adjusting, not this one would do that, you see, if we augment. Let's keep it in a bigger depth to avoid any gapping that might occur accidentally, so a value like this should be enough, but this will be okay too. And then the shrink wrap modifier, here we can, as we slightly augment, you see, there are already changes. And we can fix most of these issues by slightly adjusting this. And this time there isn't a solidify modifier for the eyelids mesh. So it's like one way to go, just one. Just the shrink wrap modifier on an above level in relation to the eye surface, and that other, it happens on a lower level with different setup. Of course, here is snap mode inside, and that other is outside surface. And we can exaggerate this and have and reducing, although it can look fine in many poses for the eyelids bones. Occasionally it would fail, so it's good to have something slightly bigger and to make lots of tests here, as I did. So exaggerated poses, even weird poses for these bendy bones. So you see, there are a lot of good deformations happening here with some things that are not very smooth. It's mostly working very fine. This part is a bit bad. Let's try to fix it from this. Let's see, how can we fix this? Maybe just by getting some Actually, let's use this average smoothing out stuff. No, let's use then this mirror tool. And I think I'm not satisfied with this loss of waves here. I think here it really requires more waves. Let's blur slightly this to smooth this out. Oh, now there is a mistake I just did right now, is that because I want to add to that mask option both the eyelids border mesh and this eyelids mesh, right? I'm gonna create a new vertex group just to work as a mask, as I call it, a mask vertex group for the eyelids wave painting. So we can even go something like that to make it clear. It's just for wave painting, the eyelids, because then I will, as I paint these, I will try to also include this. There would be other ways to automate this or make it easier, but for now let me just take this selection and then this selection and assign to this. Well, just to make sure. Something wrong here. I need to remove that one. I don't know what happened. Okay, now this is correct. And I've spotted a mistake here. Those bones, control bones, they have waves. We don't need that. This was accidentally made. And of course, for the wave, for those wave paint related vertex groups, we want to have, of course, this included, because we don't touch this from here, at least not me in this project. Okay, let's see again if I can make some improvements now. Of course, I want to protect the mesh, so come in here on edit mode, then let's select this, go back on wave paint mode, and now we can protect and we can solve simultaneously these waves, you see. Yeah, perhaps not simultaneously. Maybe here would be nice if we use some sort of fall off projected. Maybe yes, so that will, well, or just augment the strain maybe. Okay, anyways, it doesn't need to be equal, and we can always delete and re-extrude. It would be better if there was some other kind of automation, perhaps a data transfer modifier. The problem really is that we might consider that this disappearance, nearly bulging of the mesh on the top, for example, in this case, is not really interesting. Yeah, some things that we can probably improve here anyways. So yeah, here perhaps lots of smoothing. Maybe let's use smear tool here. No, not so much. Smoothing this out will probably help a lot. Let's reset these positions.